How's it going, YouTube? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Legacy Motormaster. This is the new Commander class figure in the Transformers mainline, and it's none other than the leader of the Stunticons himself. Now this thing, it's very hefty, but before we get started looking at the figure itself, we're going to take a look at the packaging. So here's the box that he arrives in. It's about, I think it's about the same size as the Commander class boxes have been here lately. It looked bigger in pictures online, but I guess kind of deceiving. But you got a really nice image of Motormaster in his truck form. Down here we have Wild Rider and Drag Strip. Up here we have Breakdown, and I can't remember. Oh, there's Dead End right there. So, and then of course in front and center, Motormaster himself in his Kenworth K100 Aerolite or something like that. His Kenworth K100 cab over semi truck form. So, coming to this side, we have that same Decepticon artwork we've seen before. On this side, we have a picture of Menasor. And what looks like the Nemesis here in the back. Yeah, just Menasor here with a blaster in one hand, sword in the other. And then on the back of the box, he transforms in 45 steps. 23 steps to the base mode, 23 steps from truck to robot, and then of course 45 steps from the full thing to the combined mode. And then of course you can attach drag strip to this arm, and then Wild Rider, when he actually arrives, will be attaching to the other leg. Getting the box out of the way and taking a look once again at Motormaster himself, he looks decent. He rolls well. I don't know what's up with Hasbro kind of doing these stunted trailers with a lot of their semi-releases. They just always have like a shorter trailer than what you would typically see. Here he is. Oh, if I don't drop him. Here he is compared with Drag Strip in vehicle mode. So you can see how he kind of compares to a deluxe car. Very, very large. But honestly, I wouldn't say he's much larger than like a first movie era, second movie era leader class. He is very much so in about the same size as Hot Rod, or Rodimus Prime, I mean, from the Kingdom line. However, this is a much heavier figure, just in general. I'm going to go ahead and remove the trailer and set that off to the side. We will transform the trailer before we transform the robot. I'm going to set that off to the side so we can take a look at the cab itself. And it by itself rolls really nicely. Very clean. A little bit shorter than probably it would be. However, for what it does, I think it works really well. On the front, we do have a little bit of gappiness here on the front, which kind of breaks up the sculpt, but it's not too terrible. Kind of have like a mock-up of the Kenworth logo up here as well. Nice purple paint on the windshield, as well as up here on these sleeper windows, as well as on the side here. Lots and lots of riveted detailing around here, so lots of rivets all over. I do kind of wish these headlights were painted. I can do that myself. I may do that. I've done a lot of custom paint details on Drag Strip, so I'll probably add a few custom paint details. But he also has these purple up here on the top, and it's kind of tech detailed, so it's not really supposed to be windows, I don't guess. I guess it's just more for robot, and it carries over to the truck. For the back, this kind of breaks the illusion a little bit. It's just his chest, really, and his crotch. And then coming around to this side, it's all the same. Got this nice purple diesel tank here on both sides attached to his arms, and silver on all the wheels. This is pretty well detailed, and then he doesn't really have a detailed fifth wheel, but it does the job that it's supposed to do. And then this hollowness here, it's acceptable. I mean, honestly, I think a lot of them are just kind of the bare frame in this area, so that just can be like bare frame detailing. And then looking underneath, you can just see it's his arms and his head. And you can turn his head around if you want. However, it's just kind of an extra step when you're transforming him. Bringing in the trailer to look at some of the details. We do have the purple stripe here. I kind of wish it would have carried over to this part as well, but what they did here is decent enough. It really homages the original G1 toy, where it kind of broke up in the joint area. Decepticon logo here on the side. He does have Decepticon logos here on the side of the truck as well. They were kind of hard to see, but they're the same purple as the windshields. Same silver on the wheels back here. The wheels seem very small for this trailer, though I do know why they kind of did that, because it's more for the transformation. They'd really get in the way if they were any bigger. The back, you do have some sculpted in door detailing, but like this breaks it up quite a bit. However, if those weren't purple and white, it would kind of match with everything else, that silvery gray. The other side's pretty much the same, and this is a heavy block. This is about the same weight as like Optimus Prime from the Earthrise series. But this here, this trailer alone, I'd say is almost as heavy as like Jetfire, just feeling it in my hand. So, transforming the trailer into the base mode is fairly simple. This strut is kind of weak as well. It's not very strong. So if you just push this back, it falls down. But I'm going to go ahead and tuck that in now, because we're going to be taking this thing apart. So you're going to rip this apart, and first thing you can see is the weapon storage. The sword does store inside. It clips onto this peg here. Let's go ahead and set the sword over here to the side. And then what we want to do here is take this, pull these out, pull this panel out, pull this panel out, bring these panels out as well, not too far, and then just take this big chunk out, and you can bring these down and tab them. There's 6 tabs that go together. There might be 4 or 5. Is there 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 tabs that go together. And then that's just a little tower. We'll set that to the side for now and move on to this piece. We have really tight ratchets here in the hips, so very nice clicky. And he's not going to fall down anytime soon with those nice tight ratchets in his hips. Bring this up just to provide support, and then bring this around. And then there's that part. Next, we're going to go ahead and pull the top off and split this apart and pull out this gun. Going to flip the barrel around like so, and then just flip these handles out and attach it to the top of this tower. For these, we're going to go ahead and flip the feet out, and that's all you're going to do. And then they're going to be oriented like that. And then the last 2 pieces, I'm going to split these apart. And then we want to bend it at this joint here, like so. And then on the other side, just like so. Now these are going to attach underneath here. There's a port here and a port here. So this post here is going to go into this port over here. Or not that one, it's this one here. is going to go into this one. That's what I meant. And then same with this post here, and then that port. And there's that part done. We're going to go ahead and lay this down like this. And then this post here will go into this port here. And then same on the other side. And then finally, there's 2 tabs on the back of these, these blocks here, that are going to go into the bottom of this chest piece. And I'm just gonna line it up and get it together. And there is the base mode for Motormaster. The trailer just completely turned into this base mode. Here it is with, you know, a couple of vehicles next to it. Motormaster and drag strip. And Motormaster is pretty simple to transform as well. There is a few tricks here that I haven't really seen in a mainline figure in a long while, so we'll go ahead and get started. First thing is you want to kind of untab these panels. They don't tab in well, but they're supposed to plug into the backs of the hips, or the front of the hips, I mean. And then bring these panels out and fold these ones down. Then we're going to come down to this panel and just kind of pull it away on both sides. And we can bring up the hips here. And they're on a really soft ratchet. We're going to go ahead and bring these panels out and plug them into the front over the windshields, like so. And that hides the windshield away. And then bring these all the way up, like so. I will say these hip ratchets seem a little bit inconsistent. Go ahead and flip the wheels down and in, and then split the legs. We're going to take this block, bring it out, rotate it around to show the faux truck front. Come to this panel here and fold that in, and then fold it here and it tabs in to there. And then we're going to bring this panel down, and then we're going to fold it flat and tab it in, and then bring the foot. That's one leg done. You're going to do the same thing on the other leg. So just bring that out, flip it around, bring this panel in, bring this panel in, bring this panel down, and bring that panel in. Tab it in. And there's the legs done. The top of the body is the easiest part. You're just going to separate the arms from the hitch section, the rear of the truck. Kind of bring that down for now. Bring the arms around and snap them into place. Flip out this panel and flip the fist out and bring the arm down. Same on this side. Bring the arm down. And then we're going to take this panel, bring it all the way over. His head's going to slip through that frame, and then it's going to collapse down, and then this is going to tab into his lower back, finishing off Motormaster. Motormaster is a pretty cool looking figure. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit so we can see some of his details. So he's got lots of this purple paint all over the place. This nice gray border on the chest. The arms are painted white over black plastic, which is quite impressive, honestly, that you don't see a whole lot of black bleeding through. The face is a nice metallic purple, and then the eyes, I believe, are about the same purple as the rest of this. He's got a very clean back, tidies up really nicely. Articulation, his head's just on a swivel. It would have been nice to have it on a hinge up and down as well, but as it is, it's just on the swivel, which is kind of a bummer. Rotation here at the shoulder for a full 360. You can go straight out here. If you unclip this, you can go up further. If you unclip this part, you can bring this out and get a butterfly, which it breaks the skull, but it gives you, like if you're kind of trying to get him at like an angle or whatever. If you're trying to get him in a cool pose at an angle, it doesn't look too terrible. Bicep rotation on a mushroom peg, and mine seems to be a little bit overcut. It doesn't seem like it's going to be an issue over time, but it's definitely cut too much. Whereas this side, the whole space is filled out. Whereas on this side, there's a clear gap, and you can see how it's cut there. Just a little bit of a QC on mine, but it's not causing any major issues. So the elbow bends to 90, and then the wrist rotates. The waist swivel, full 360 for the combination. It definitely has to go all the way around. The hips can go way out to the side, all the way back, all the way forward on very inconsistent ratchet joints. And it should go another click, but there it goes. So there, I kind of had to get it at a weird angle to get that last click. So it's kind of inconsistent, but rotation here at the thigh. He has a double knee joint. The top one is ratcheted, and that gets you more than what you need. And then you can also use that other one to kind of get like a deeper bend or like a lower bend. But it kind of breaks it up here. So once you have it locked in, if yours locks in, I know Bobby Skullface said that his doesn't lock in properly. But if yours does lock in properly like mine, that joint moves by itself. And then he has the ankle rocker. And then if you kind of get it off to angle, well, it doesn't really turn very well, but yeah, it doesn't do it. So never mind that. Anyway, he looks nice. Here he is compared to Optimus and to Megatron. The Earthrise Optimus and Earthrise G2 Megatron. So he's a pretty good size. He's about the same height as both, which is where he kind of should be. Let me transform him real quick. The Stunticons look really good so far. I've seen the recently shown pictures of Dead End, and he looks really good, especially since he's a remold of this. The legs are a bit dodgy. I'm not sure how that's going to turn out in person, but he does kind of look kind of weird in the legs, but the upper body of it looks really nice. But here he is with drag strip, and I assume that all 4 of the Stunticon cars are going to be the same height. So you can just kind of think, you know, just have all 5 of them lined up. It's definitely a better, proportionate, proportionally to, like the Combiner Wars. Those guys were, the Motormaster was way too big. His hips were like way too short, or his thighs were way too short. His legs were too long. Whereas this guy, he has very well proportioned, I think, legs. So that's how he compares to drag strip. All right, now to transform the let's transform the base into the combined components. So from here, it's pretty simple. We're going to just take this off and set it off this side. We're not going to need that for the remainder of this portion here, I guess. Going to go ahead and pull these legs off. I know in the promotional pictures, it kind of showed the leg bent backwards. These can't do that. It's literally impossible just the way they're sculpted. Bring these legs here. We're going to flip these panels up. And I do wish this were flat, or like, I don't know, some different kind of detail. I'm pretty sure a third-party company is going to come and fill those in for us, but as they are, they're kind of ugly. Go ahead and take these side pieces off of the torso, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom out so we can see what's going on here. These are very Combiner Wars style, but they don't exactly fit with Combiner Wars. I think it's a little too small, but there's notches on these, plus, and the notches are going to face inward. Or if that's too hard for you to remember, basically you can snap these in one spot and just snap the hips out one. And then that tells you which side goes to which. And you just push those on just like Combiner Wars figures. And he's getting tall. So there's that so far. Next step we're going to have to do is bring Motormaster in. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom back in so we can see what we're doing here. So first thing you want to do is go ahead and rotate the waist. And then I'm going to go ahead and open these panels here just for a second so we can get these legs tucked in and closed back up. Same on the other side. Okay. Then we're going to bring this straight out like so. Actually, let's bring this whole thing around first. So bring the whole backpack around like this. And then you're going to bring these arms up. We're going to tuck the hands back in. Bring this down. Bring this down. And we can bring this forward like so. And then with this same joint I was talking about earlier for the butterfly joint, we're going to go ahead and pull these in and tab the arm onto it. And then same on the other side. So you can do this one a little bit quicker. Bring that down and in. Alright. And they don't seem to line up super well, but when we get to everything, it's going to hold together fairly decently. We're going to turn this around, bring it to this side, and now we're going to just pull Motormaster's head down, and that opens this whole door. And then we can pull out the Menasor head inside. Just get that all the way up like that, and then tuck Motormaster's head in, and then tuck this whole section in. And then we can bring this back down and bring out the antenna. Bring these hips out to about 90 and then rotate. You don't want to rotate the hip, you want to rotate at the thigh swivel. And bring them kind of all the way up. Make sure these are still tabbed in. And bring these all the way up. And then these will come around and clip into the sides. There's this large tab here that clips into the side right there. Alright. Now that we've done that, we can come down here and take these and tuck these under here like they were in vehicle mode. And that kind of just creates the shape of this upper torso. Bring this panel, this piece of the foot down, and it'll plug into the same port that this just came out of. And then you want to pay attention to these large posts here on the side and this tab on the front. And what's going to happen here is you're going to bring this down. There's two large holes here, and then there's this slot here. And then what we're going to do is, first we want to bring the camera up because it's a little too low right now. We're going to take these posts here and they're going to go into those holes, and then this tab is going to go into that slot. And it should all line up pretty easily. And then we're going to take this panel and it'll close up over this 5mm port back here, and that locks everything together very nicely. So there is the upper torso. We want to bring these panels up as well. And there's the upper torso finished. Now, next I'm going to go ahead and cover the arms. I'm going to leave the right arm for last, and we're going to do this left arm now. So, I'm going to bring this in, and you're going to take these two panels here, bring them out, kind of fold them in half, and then bring them all the way down, just like so. Then we're going to bring these wheels out just a little bit to unlock this joint here, so we can kind of just expand all this like that. And then bring the fist around. And this will be the left arm. Bring the wheels in. And this is where dead end's going to attach. I'll cover the transformation for the dead end figure when I get that figure. As of now, I don't know what this little black piece is here. I don't know if it's some kind of locking tab, or if it might be just the ratchet mechanism there. It is ratcheted, so I think it might just be the ratchet mechanism. But anyway, there's the left arm, and we're going to take this slot here, and it's going to attach over this part here, and it clips in nice and secure. Alright, we're going to come back down here to the bottom because I want to show this off at this level. So for this arm, what we're going to do is we're just going to bring this panel down and clip it into the side, and then bring the fist out. And we're just going to leave that like that. And now we're going to go ahead and transform Drag Strip back into his vehicle mode. Because this is a really cool trick that they have. I know pretty much everybody's shown this by now, but I just think it's so cool how they engineered this, especially at this price point. Bring these out and just collapse the thighs into the legs. Alright, so here's Drag Strip in his vehicle mode. And what we're going to do is, you can see there's a series of tabs and posts that are going to plug in and correspond. And we're just going to go ahead and line everything up, plug everything in. Now, there's a tab on the upper portion here that actually pushes in on the slot that has the button to release the waist. And when you do this, now when you open up these arms, it splits them in half. And then we can go ahead and finish transforming it like so. This tucks neatly into here and kind of finishes off that joint. And then you want to tuck the wheels in, of course. And that's how the arms will transform, and that's pretty cool. And it has a nice 90-degree bend. And then once again, we're going to go ahead and bring this up here and attach it to Menasor. Just like so. And here is our Legacy Menasor. Go ahead and zoom out so we can see the whole thing. And this guy is pretty cool. Not gonna lie, he is pretty sick. He does have his sword, and Motormaster can wield this. It kind of looks too big for Motormaster. It looks too small for Menasor. But he can hold that sword. Now, when you bring this forward, it does seem to make him lean quite a bit. Like he's like a half an inch away from Smooth Criminal there. So yeah, he gets a little bit top heavy, but if you do click his hips back one tooth, it kind of counterbalances the weight. And you can bring his arm all the way out, and it holds fairly decently on this side for me. on that side. He holds his arms out pretty well. Now, once we get some weight on this with the other figure, it's going to be a bit of a different story. And also, once we get weight on the legs, I'm sure that'll kind of hold them back. And then he won't lean as much to the front. But here he is from the side. There he is from the back. Very clean. This thing is probably the cleanest Motormaster, or Menasor, I mean. Cleanest Menasor I've ever seen. Absolutely fantastic. Articulation on this guy. His head is on just a swivel again. Very annoying. I'm sure a third party is going to come out and make a new head where... Oh, possibly. I don't know if that can be switched out or not without disassembling everything. Because I can't tell if it's... I can't tell if the head's on a pin or if it's... I don't think it's on a pin. I think it's... Yeah, it's just screwed over the mushroom or something. So it should be an easy swap out if a third party came out with a new head for this figure that gave him neck articulation. Face is really nice, silver with some gunmetal on the sides here. Oh no, it's just silver with the shadowing. Never mind. But the shadow makes it look like it's more of a gunmetal. Definitely cuts out his cheekbones really well. Eyes are a nice red, and I think there's a bit of a black outline. Yes, there is a black outline to the eyes, so it looks really cool. These are nice, sturdy plastic, so I don't think they're gonna break unless you really force them. Nice tamper-graphed Decepticon logo here. I might put some more detailing on his chest. He does kind of seem plain. And then he has purple here. The legs seem plain once again, and I think these need to be filled in with like a third party or a 3D printed piece or something. It just looks crap to me, honestly. That's the only thing I don't like about the legs, like, is how bad this gappy space looks. For the arms, they do go around the full 360 degrees on a ratchet, and then they come out on a ratchet. I want to hold here because it puts a lot of tension once you get out to about 60 degrees. The elbows on a ratchet, the bicep swivel's on a ratchet, and that can go a full 360 as well. For some reason, the wrist is on a ratchet. Makes no sense, but just kind of the choice they made. I think once we get the leg figures, this guy might not lean as much, because that doesn't allow him to lean quite as much either with those doors open or fully extended. The other arm's exactly the same with the articulation. The legs, well, first we have the waist swivel, which is nice. Legs go that far back and that far forward on ratchets. Very strong, tight ratchets. And that's another thing. When you're pulling the leg back, this wants to come unclipped. If you're pulling it back from here, so you kind of want to use this as leverage here. Hold on to the thigh, and then comes out to the full split. Knee bend at 90 degrees. Very tight ratchets, but yeah, 90-degree knee bend. And then the ankles, very, very tight as well, and they can go almost all the way out. And that's on both sides. And of course, they do go forward for the transformation, and they kind of want to lean forward just due to the weight of this arm here. He wants to lean forward quite a bit. This joint seems a little bit loose in comparison to this side. Yeah, because that one wants to give out. That one does, I guess, too, but it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of what it is. I might be able to go in and tighten that joint up a little bit, because is it just, yeah, it feels like it's just like a tension joint, but with a little locking point. So it's a tension joint with a locking point. So I can go in there and probably tighten that joint up so it doesn't lean so much. Lots of sculpted detailing all over this thing though, so looks really good. And if he catches the light just right, you can see like all that sculpted detailing is so nice. It just would have been nice if they were picked out with paint. However, I have paint pens, I have paint brushes, I have paint to use. I can easily paint up this guy. And then once again, once we get those leg carbots to lock these in place like that, really nice solid look on the legs. And then once again, clean from the back. So yeah, pretty cool. We didn't really go over this thing. It can come off and plug in like this if you want it to, and then he can use that in Menasor form. I wish they would have been able to kind of attach this in his robot mode, in his combined mode or whatever. You kind of can if you kind of cheat it. If you kind of fold it into a box, the way it was for the truck mode, you can take these 3 tabs here and plug it into his, plug them into his butt. It doesn't seem too obtrusive at this point, but I'm sure once we get those carbots on the back of his legs, it's going to be a bit more noticeable. But as it is right there, it's not too obtrusive. So that's a display option, I guess. I kind of wish they could have managed these arms a little bit better. As they are, though, they're not too bad. Take that off. Yeah, so pretty cool for the price point. Definitely getting a lot of plastic here. And then once we get all 4 of the vehicles to attach, he's going to look really nice. He's going to look amazing. Here he is compared to, once again, to the Earthrise Megatron mold and the Earthrise Optimus Prime mold. And you see, he is about the same size as a Combiner Wars Combiner. So you can just go ahead and use that information as you will. I did compare him like next to Defensor. He's about the same height as Combiner Wars Defensor with the perfect effect upgrades. If you don't have the perfect effect upgrades, though, he will be kind of towering over the other combiners. Anyway, this has been my review of the Transformers Legacy Motormaster and Menasor. We'll go ahead and look more into Menasor once again when we have all 4 of them. It's going to be kind of a short update video. That being said, the next one that comes out is going to be Wild Rider, so I can't wait to see him. We'll go through his transformation, how he attaches to Motormaster or Menasor, and we'll see you then. So until next time, till all are one.